This is Justice with Judge Mablean.
In the matter of Maria Warner versus Dr. Stephen Myers, I understand you are suing him, Ms. Warner, because he posted a flyer or something on social media and at your job indicating you were a white supremacist, and as a result of that, you were terminated.
Yes,
so you
Your
say
Honor.
it's his fault that you were fired.
Yes.
All right, tell me why.
He came down to my job and he harassed me and the customers, and he posted those flyers and he got me fired. He's my neighbor. He's been living there for 6 months. I was a little confused why he moved in there to begin with, because we've never had any African Americans in our neighborhood. But he moved in, and it's America. He has the freedom to live where he wants.
But it confused you, huh?
It did confuse me. I was brought up in this environment. We have social club meetings there.
What environment?
American Aryan Association.
Oh, okay. All right.
I
You
grew
have
up
social
in
club meetings there?
We do. Often we have meetings there in the privacy of my own home.
Mm-hmm.
We have meetings. We have parties. And we keep it there at my house, though. And I know I've had associates over that, he's been outside. My neighbor's been outside watering his lawn or whatever. And they've told him, they've hollered out things. But I've told him, I was like, hey, look, that's my neighbor.
So you say you've had your associates over and they've yelled things at Mr. Myers or Dr. Myers?
Yes.
Like what?
They've hollered
Racial
things
epithets?
Yes. Yes.
So why are you afraid to say it? Don't say the words, but what kind of things were they saying?
I might not believe in everything that the association, believes in, but I grew up in it, and we do a lot of good too in the community. We do outreach, we donate money, we volunteer.
So that excuses all your other madness that you do? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Well, any other madness that we do in the privacy of our own home.
Okay, go on, Dr. Myers.
She has encouraged, if not instigated, this harassment, this unrelenting, prolonged harassment by herself and her associates. It started off very subtle with offhand remarks, stereotypical remarks about my hair. I have braids, and so they assumed I was in a gang, and that's nothing I wasn't used to already coming to where I am. I just graduated my PhD. And so, I've experienced these interactions from others in my field, and so this was nothing for me to brush off.
What's your PhD in?
Psychology.
Oh.
Yes. And I just moved to the area 6 months ago.
Why did you choose that neighborhood? Did you know what it was?
I don't really look at the makeup of I had accepted an offer at a clinic there. And so,
you're working there in that
yes,
area.
Yeah, I work at a local clinic there. And like I said, it started off, very subtle at first. And
All
so,
right.
this rolled off my back. It was in, these private parties and meetings started to become noisy into the late hour sessions that, I started to call the police because it got to be too late at night for some of these parties to go on as loud as they were. I work in the morning. I have to see clients. I have to be at my best in the morning so that I can help them.
So
none of
now
my
they're
other neighbors-
creating a nuisance as a neighbor, you're saying?
Absolutely. And so I called the police several times. Police came to their house. That was the only way I could get them to quiet the noise level. At first, I attempted to reach out personally to Ms. Warner and was met with even more aggression on the part of her associates.
What kinds of things did
Not
they
me.
say or do?
They didn't respect me. I came there at nights, often asking them to turn the music down. And
Okay,
they
so
said,
they
we're
wouldn't-
sorry, it's not rap, or we'll try to play some rap for you tonight or something. Just really disrespectful things. Not respecting my requests as a neighbor and as a citizen to not be disturbed in the middle of the night. After I called the police, that's when the property damage started to happen. My car was vandalized. Someone spray painted a swastika on my vehicle. The next week, there was graffiti on the side of the house that said "No blacks."
It wasn't even my handwriting.
That said what?
It said "No blacks."
No
on
blacks?
the side of my house. Yes, I rent the house, and so I reached out to the property owner, my landlord. He was embarrassed, offered to, repay my rent.
And he didn't have
was
any
very
problems when he
embarrassed.
lived there, did he?
Didn't have any problems when who lived there?
When the landlord lived there, he didn't have any problems.
What's the
No,
landlord, white?
I'm sure he didn't. Yeah,
Yes.
he's a white individual.
Okay.
And later,
The contract basically states that she could use 2 of the photos for her public use and she could do whatever she liked with them. And the rest of those photos belong to me and
And she cut you out.
cut me out.
Justice with Judge Mablean. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean.
So what else?
After the spray paint on the side of the house, I called the landlord and also filed a police complaint against her. And they had no proof that it was her that caused the graffiti. So
no
they
charges
couldn't-
on
they
me
could
'cause
not
I
pursue.
didn't do anything.
They could not pursue her legally.
Okay.
And so I let that, I let that go. It was when I returned home from work one day to find a doll hanging in my front lawn by the neck. That I was livid.
And what the dog, what was said? Or
It was a black doll just simply
a
hanging
black
from
doll
the neck.
hanging by the neck.
Hanging
in
by
your
the
front yard.
no words, no messages, just hung there in the middle of my lawn for anyone on the street or driving by to see.
So
I
then,
had
as a
nothing
result
to do
of
with
that,
that.
what did you do?
What I did, knowing that I didn't have any proof that she physically or her associates physically put this there, but knowing that it was them that caused this, I distributed flyers throughout the community, making them aware of her association with this group and her lifestyle as a racist.
Okay, so what does the flyer say?
It simply said, it said,
Somebody have
Ms.
a copy
Warner,
of it, I can
she's
just
a
read it.
racist.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Do you have any proof of the vandalism of any kind?
Yes, Your Honor.
I didn't have anything to do with it, and that's where he crossed the line. He came to my job. Anything I do in the privacy of my own home. I don't go to his work and tell them that he's a gangbanger and all this kind of stuff and try to get him fired.
That would be a lie, and that would actually be slander. Me distributing these flyers, making the community aware of a racist, is truth. You even
Oh, so this is
admitted
a
to
sign of
being,
no blacks.
Yeah, that's the
Again, not
graffiti
my
there.
handwriting.
Your Honor, I don't know
And this
what
is the doll hanging in your yard.
Yeah, that was the final straw for me, and I like I said, I distributed flyers to the community.
And this is the car vandalized with the swastika. And I know you have no knowledge of any of this.
Absolutely not.
I know.
And a part of my visits with people in the community and in this making them aware of her activities as a racist, that included a visit to her employer to make them also aware of
He
the
said he
kind of
did it.
woman
There you
that
go.
they have on their staff. And while I did not,
Where do you work?
I work at a coffee shop in the neighborhood. I'm
Oh,
a
in the
barista.
neighborhood?
Yeah.
So you're saying it's because he told the truth about the fact that you were a white supremacist that's what got you fired. And you're suing for slander. I think that's what I read.
I don't think it's fair to call us that. I mean, just because we have a social club that meets and we're all white doesn't mean that, we're racist. We just like to keep it in the community, and that's what we do.
Well, come on, Miss Warner. You told me that you were part of the Aryan Nation.
Absolutely.
The
And we do a
Aryan
lot of
Nation
outreach.
of white supremacists.
Absolutely. We do a lot of outreach to the community. It just happens to
So
be
did the
white
Ku Klux
people.
Klan.
What was that?
I didn't stutter. So did the Ku Klux Klan. They did a lot of outreach. They were the local pastors. They were the heads of the deacon board, the head of the school board. They took people on field trips in schools. They donated money. And so what does that mean?
I mean,
You do a lot of good, you also do a lot of bad.
We don't. Anything that we do or say is in the privacy on private property.
But let me tell you something, and that's fine. And anything he does and says you were exercising your First Amendment right, he exercised his First
by
Amendment
going
right.
to my job and getting me fired.
Just to put up a flyer to say what you do, he's exercising his First Amendment right. And you sued for slander. You got to prove that it's a lie.
It's not true. He doesn't. The cops have come to my house. They have never had charges brought up on me because
I don't need to hear anymore. She sued for slander and said that she sued for slander because of the flyer. Truth is an absolute defense to slander, so your request is denied for the $2,880. But you have a countersuit for the vandalism and the damage to your vehicle.
yes.
The problem I have is you can't prove who did it. Now, I suggest to you that if your friends continue in this manner, it won't be long before he will have proof of this type of conduct. So I have to deny the defendant's claim, and I deny your claim as well. So, case dismissed.
Judge Mablean has ruled against the plaintiff's claim and the defendant's counterclaim. Case dismissed.
I didn't do anything, and you cost me my job.
Well, I'm going to install cameras, so next time I will have proof.
The remark that I made is that the world would be taken over by Asians and that they would rename our club the Pandas.